Welcome to the Blue Mountains. Now, before we begin, I want to pay my respects to the traditional custodians of this land. I want to recognize their ongoing connection to the land, air, community, and water. I want to pay my respects to the elders, emerging, present, and past. Now, it's hard to say exactly who were the true custodians of this land in the ages past, but there is significant evidence today that the Durik tribe was the first inhabitants. This evidence is found in cave art paintings in these mountains, to which today they stand remarkably intact. In fact, one of the most famous ones is the fight of the great gray kangaroo, found in Huckleberry Lookout. This is the Blue Mountains. This is a place where you can see spectacular sights such as great waterfalls, the Three Sisters, a number of mountains and rivers. With over 1,500 species of flora and over 400 animal species, this park hosts truly great biodiversity. Across these eucalyptus-dominated landscapes, you will see exceptional views, 300-meter cliffs, sandstone tableland, and slot canyons. Now, who's excited? Let's go explore! Over here, you see Jameson Valley, and right up here is a scenic cableway, which takes you 545 meters all the way across with stunning views of Jameson Valley.
The Blue Mountains National Park is a protected national park located in the Blue Mountains region in New South Wales. The park is situated about 80 miles from Sydney CBD, and it takes you approximately 2 hours to get from Sydney Central. The park is almost 268,000 hectare big and is broken up by roads and urban areas, where approximately 80,000 people live. Even though it's called the Blue Mountains, the area is actually an uplifted plateau dissected by a number of large rivers. The highest point in the park is Mount Vorong on 1,250 meters above sea level. The plateau slopes gently down from west to east from a height around 1,100 meters down to around 200 meters.
The Blue Mountains National Park is a great place to see some of the unique fauna that Australia has to offer. With over 400 species, exchange students like you are almost guaranteed to see something new and exciting. The large number of species contributed to the fact that the park was inscribed on the World Heritage List back in 2000. Walking through the park, you will notice there's a lot of gum trees, divided into over 100 species. Some notable ones are the mountain blue gum and the grey gum we have right here, and also the scribble gum. And they're all pretty distinct and easy to recognize from their names. The names come, as you might remember from class, from Aussies wanting to have easy names and just naming them after their appearance. Yeah. If you get bored by trees, there's also an abundance of stunning wildflowers to look out for to keep you busy. Estimations say that there are over 1,500 species in the park, and some noticeable ones are acacia. Fun fact: ants live in hollowed-out thorns in the acacia, and they feed off nectar produced by the trees. There's also a lot of bees, as you can see. Orchids. The world's largest plant family, orchids, is represented in the park, but they might not look exactly as the ones you're used to buying in the stores. Orchids actually vary a lot in shape and color. Banksias. These wildflowers and garden plants have characteristic flower spikes and fruiting heads. These heads are made up of hundreds of small flowers, giving them a fluffy appearance. While there's a chance you might see the usual fan favorites such as koalas, kangaroos and wallabies in the park, there's many more cool animals you should look out for. Among those are tiger quoll. This cute spotted little fellow, also known as the spotted-tailed quoll, is part of the marsupial family, which also includes kangaroos, bandicoots and the Tasmanian devil. Despite its appearance, it's actually mainland Australia's largest marsupial carnivore. It also has the second strongest bite relative to body size of any living mammal. Another interesting species is the largest predator in the region, the dingo. It's a type of wild dog native to Australia that eats wallabies, wombats, or in some cases even birds and reptiles. Not so fun fact. Dingoes are endangered, but not in the way you might expect. They have adapted very well to their surroundings, they face the problem of hybridization. They interbreed with tame dogs and therefore risk depletion of their gene pool. Blue Mountain water skink. This endangered lizard is, as its name implies, endemic to the Blue Mountains. It lives in swampy areas and likes to lie in the sun when it's not out searching for flies, grasshoppers or moths to eat. Unfortunately, it's quite hard to spot since it's endangered and therefore pretty rare. Cockatoos. Cockatoos are a type of parrot very common in the park. They can measure around 15 centimeters and can be very numerous. They are highly intelligent birds and can be domesticated. Some of the birds in the park come up very close, asking for food while making their signature screeching voice. The most common in the park is the sulfur-crested cockatoo, which are white with a yellow crest on its head. Much like humans, cockatoos have a preferred foot they use. Unlike humans though, most of them are left-footed.
In history, Katoomba was a very little known town. However, in 1879, J.B. North opened up a coal mine. He used this rail station to carry coal from Orphan Rock all the way up to the top. After this, the economy started to boom here and it became a major tourist attraction from all the views. Nowadays, you can see the cable car running up as a popular amusement trip.
Hello, fellow humans!
Sandstone, as you can see, is everywhere. In fact, it's a really important rock to Australia. A lot of the older buildings are actually made out of it, including the university's own quadrangle. This rock is very old too. It's estimated about 15 million years ago these rocks were formed. While these dark rocks may seem interesting, it's actually a sign of something far more worse. Above you can see algae, and it's really blooming. The blooming is the cause of excess nutrients flooding into the Blue Mountains. These nutrients come from the sewage, fertilizers, and other things that are around the towns that are being leaked into the rivers. As a result, unfortunately, the water supply is turning a bit less of a high quality water supply, so a lot of the trees and other herbs around here are taking effect. Today, we're very fortunate to have these steps to enjoy these very scenic, beautiful views. However, back then it wasn't always that way. The Aboriginals actually, they looked a bit more like this for them, and they became so skilled at traversing these lands, it's actually believed that when the English came, the Aboriginals were their guide. They showed them all over the land, and without them, who knows if they would have made it.
The Blue Mountain National Park is the most visited national park in the New South Wales, with more than half of the domestic visitors originating from Sydney. The majority of tourists come to the Blue Mountains to see the national park from the many lookouts between Wentworth Falls and the Blackheath. Numbers from 2016 said it's around 5.2 million visitors a year. Activities for the visitors include short walks to lookouts above the cliffs and waterfalls, overnight and longer walks to the more remote areas. You can also do a lot of rock climbing and mountain biking.
And after a long hike up, we've reached our final destination, the Three Sisters, arguably the Blue Mountains' most popular tourist attraction.
Thanks for tagging along today, and we're all looking forward to having a field trip in a couple of weeks with you guys.
Yeah, thank you.
Bye.